unfortunately, I had an appointment with my psychologist. And that was a 7 a.m. start for me. Look, I'll be honest, Wolf. It is the closest I've ever been to being interested in Dead by Daylight. I'm not going to lie. Put Alan Wake in something or have Remedy involved somehow. You got my attention. That's for sure. So I feel like I should play Alan Wake 2 beforehand, though. I know it's not like required reading. I don't think it's going to be canon, as it were. Yeah, I saw the announcement. Well, I think I saw the reactions to the announcement first, but I did see that that he's going to be making an appearance. I am a big fan of Alan Wake. I normally, or have for a while, I have for a while replayed Alan Wake almost yearly, basically yearly. And I didn't replay it last year. I don't think. I replayed it the year before. So I'm pretty tempted to replay it this year. And then go on to play Alan Wake 2. Because I've heard only good things about Alan Wake 2. I mean, not that you need to convince me, as I've just established. Big Alan Wake stan, personally. So you don't need to convince me, Remedy. I'm already there. How was your Friday? How have we been spending it? Like I said, I went early to the psychologist. I then went to the shops. I picked up my new Fox companion on my desk. I bought a fan, a ceiling fan, and I'm hopefully going to get someone to install next week. And bought some new pajamas. Big day. Oh, and I went to the gym again. Big day. Big day. Dead by Daylight. Excellent. I've actually got a question. Because there's another friend of mine, friend of the channel, Ziri. He's a Mexican streamer who plays Dead by Daylight, but he prefers to play as a prey, as a survivor, as a victim. I don't know what you call them, and not as the hunter or the monster. Are you of a similar vein, or do you prefer to play the killer or the hunter? Because I don't know. I think I'd be interested. Like, clearly, the killer and the survivor are very different in terms of how you play them. And I imagine, particularly now, as there's just so many killers, even the killers themselves, there will be a lot of variability in playing them. Really? Interesting. I figured that there'd be more people playing as a survivor. It's an interesting game type that was, I think the first mainstream one at least, was, what was it? Evolve, if you recall that game. It came out about the launch of the Xbox One and like the PS4 and all of them. So probably around, what would that be, 2013 or so? I don't think it works in any capacity anymore. So I don't think it had any single player or anything like that. But I think that was the first one of these kind of asymmetrical multiplayer games where you have two very different play experiences. Yeah, I think the servers have been shut down. I've heard the first crew 1, their servers are getting shut down too. Kind of, it's a little bit sad. Like, these games are, excuse me, just becoming abandonware, but in like the most literal sense. There's no way you can play them. So I guess they're not abandonware so much as lost media. There's no way to play Evolve, and soon there's going to be very little way to play the Crew 1. Not to mention if you've just, spent money on it, oopsie daisy. I hope you got your money's worth, because Ubisoft reckons you have. That's a lot of characters. That's what's that? 73 in total altogether. That's a lot of different killers and survivors. That's kind of wild. It's also, I do find it very funny as well that they're all the survivors, regardless of what their like where they're from, like Alan Wake or Ripley from Alien, they're all out there in the field or whatever, repairing these weird shaped, kind of V8 or V style engines. They're not quite engines because they've got some piston that seems to move, but there's no combustion or whatever. I would have thought that there would be I can understand that it's good to have the, what's the word? Like the objective of being a survivor as very identifiable. You go for those engine things and you do the quick time events, the QTEs. But I would have thought it would be nice to kind of what's the word? I guess localize them a bit to the maps. So there were on the Alien map, for example. I saw it Zeri play once or twice. Actually, speaking of which, I should probably shout him out. He is a Dead by Daylight streamer after all. Drop them a follow if you haven't. So when I saw him playing that, it's in a spaceship, and then you still got to find the same V style engines to repair. I would have thought it would make a bit more sense if it was like, I don't know, a power core or a something a bit more sci-fi, Oh, excuse me. Or the opposite, if there's olden times maps or whatever. You're repairing a horse or something. I don't know. A little windmill. That's wild, actually. Just looking at that list. So they only started with 6 killers, and now there are 34. They've added 28 killers. But then again, it's got to be. It turned 10, didn't it, recently? I feel like I saw Itzeri doing something for the 10th anniversary or something such. Like, it's not a new game by any stretch of the imagination, Dead by Daylight. While we're discussing this, I will open up Forza because we got to get 40 points again, almost certainly, because there are 2 new cars each week. There were last week. There was something. No, was it the McLaren 12C? Maybe. I think it was the McLaren 12C and the Aston Martin DBS. There's 2 cars, and they'll be the same again this week. Something and something else. I do no prior research to this. Like I could, and maybe should, check the what's the word? The Twitters, the Twitter feeds for the Forza people, and go, hey, what's good? What's in this week's challenges? What's this week's cars? No. If I'm lucky, a YouTuber like AR12, for example, will. Why am I suddenly? Oh, let me pop a throat lozenge because suddenly I've got some phlegming in my throat, which is not ideal for talking. So ideally, someone like them will have done something on this, so I can just go, "I'll take that, thank you." That knowledge, thank you for the knowledge. Oh, here's the other ones. All right. The Huntress, the Clown, Ghostface, Oni, Singularity. That one sounds weird. Chucky, Alien, Skull Merchant, Albert Wesker, Dredge, Onro, The Artist, Hellraiser, Nemesis, The Trickster, The Blight, The Twins, Pyramid Head, Deathlingers, Demogorgon, The Plague, Legion, Spirit, Pig from Saw. Is that the full title? Pig from Saw? Freddy Krueger, Leatherface, Michael Myers, and The Night. Oh, cool. The capture crashed for some reason. Rad. Rad, 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 rad. So cool. I don't know why it does it. I really don't. What makes Ghostface so good? Okay, so next week is Pagani Huayra, and I'm quite interested in that one. And then there's the GTA Spano and the Fiat Dino. And there's the Nissan GTR 20 and the GT3 21. Well, that's not as good. And what does the perk stalk do? So pick up some 4x4s C400.
Welcome back, comrade.
Oh, that's pretty sick. I can see that being incredibly useful. Okay, where's pickups? Pick up some 4x4s. Beef 600. So we could take like a Bronco, for example, and really shoot it to the stratosphere. Or we get like the big boy, a Ford F450 DRW. We could get a Hummer. A Jeep. Oh, we could do a Series 3 Land Rover. That is tempting, actually. What was the autocorrect? Was it the... Let's use an FJ40, because we have 3 of them that we haven't touched. I don't know. As someone who had no idea what you were talking about, I was like, it's kind of weird that they've added Oppenheimer to the game, but I don't know. I guess it could make sense as a survivor. Hi, it's me, David Oppenheimer. Was that his name? Yeah, he's working, instead of assembling a V8 engine when Oppenheimer's on the map, all of the different things are changed to those cores, so the different like core segments being put together. Very gingerly, so they don't go super critical. Okay, let's... Actually, what I need to do first is I need to just have a quick look at the picture. Okay, we are going off-road. Just need to figure that one out. So we know what tires to slap on this bad boy. Oh yes, I think I've seen that. Yeah, there's thick tires. Oh, what can we put on? A bull bar or a smaller bull bar? Let's just go for a winch. I mean, I can imagine the aliens are just weird to begin with. I don't think we need roof racks. I think we're fine for that. We will get some mud flaps though. That's just common sense, really. And somehow that saves us 3 kilos. I don't know how it saves us 3 kilos, but it does, so we'll do that. I didn't realize I was blocking things over here. That is a shame. What I'll do is I'll do this. I'll move. I'll move back when we go back out. So I've done that already. Now let's get the brakes first. To make sure we can stop. Make sure we can turn. Because DVD is in Game Pass, right? Evil Dead, I haven't had anything to do with it, but I do want to have a look at it at some point, just because I know it's very much a cult film. Okay, well that definitely lowers, I should say, not raises, lowers the kind of approach angle for it. Ooh, 108 kilowatts. Powerful as all get out. Just raw energy. That'll do, that's close enough. Why was that? Because of, I don't know, too much gore, or... Wow, let's change that. Alright, let me get out of the way there. Let me change that gear setup just a touch. I paid for 6 gears, I'm going to use 6 gears, thank you. A truly fearsome top speed of 187. I mean, different things like really can affect different people, and I guess to an extent you don't really know what's going to get you until you see it. Like I was up in Lismore, or down in Lismore for you, for a wedding a while ago, and some guy, what was he talking about? Can't remember if it was teeth or eyes, but he was having something done to one of those parts of his face, and that was just too much for me. I was literally going pale, like obviously going pale. I just had to step out and be like, nah, I need to sit outside for a sec. Oh, we didn't put any sweet rims on. Gotta fix that. Please explain yourself. Nah, I can see that. I mean, particularly when you get like exposed to that kind of stuff when you're 11, like very young, that can really affect someone. It can't be too nice a wheel. Got to still make sure it's pretty heavy. Those will do nicely. Quick TV. Sounds familiar. Was that the channel, that like the YouTube thing? I've never been a huge fan of gore though, like full stop. Oh, also, quick stream update. Just below my torso here, we've added a a like a timer, so you can see when the ads are starting and how long they're going and how far away they are. So hopefully that'll keep everyone up to date, so they don't like pounce on you if I fail to keep you updated. I'm thinking for this one, let's try just 4x4. Start with. Now I do. I should have a look at it. Like I'm normally not too phased by gore. It's just not necessarily something that I'm like, oh hell yeah, let's go, let's get some gore up in this. You know. And I think it depends. Like if it's gore for gore's sake, like gore horror, for example, like Saw or something like that, not a huge fan. But if it's like in a war film and it's kind of like appropriate, I guess, in the context, then I'm not fussed. I'm not phased by it too much. Or if it's like in a like ER or you know, like 24 hours in emergency, one of those things, then I'm not fussed. If anything, I'm kind of fascinated by those programs. Yeah, Django, I haven't really watched any Tarantino films, actually. I've watched probably about half, maybe 3/4 of Inglourious Bastards, I think. The World War II one. On the way to cadet camp, literally decades ago now. 4 Guns, 4 Trump. Well, let's not put that one on the side. Let's not attract those kind of people if we can avoid it. Coda 4x4, but it is a bit rough. HSV Malou 4x4? Jeez, Smokey would have a heart attack if he saw that. I do want to watch Pulp Fiction, and to a lesser extent, Kill Bill. Just because I feel like, particularly Pulp Fiction, they're very kind of cultural touchstone films, you know, like referenced a lot in other media and just by people. And so I'd like to be able to understand those references or appreciate them, I guess. I mean, John Wick is a pretty good film. The first one in particular. Why is it so pale? A bit too gloss. Oh yeah, I saw the second one and I was quite excited about that because I enjoyed the first one, and it just left me a bit cold, to be honest. It felt John Wick felt very kind of Mary Sue, you know, kind of unkillable and just a bit. It got a bit to the point where in the first one it was definitely, it felt like it was a bit of a struggle to kind of take on, realistically so, to take on all the fellas that he was killing. But in the second one, it was just like he was killing so many people, and it's just like, oh my goodness. It just didn't feel like there were any stakes anymore, you know? But I'll have a look at the more recent ones and see what I think. It's a struggle. Mud lover, maybe? Toyota might work. That could go on the roof, actually. That might work well on the roof. No, I do enjoy that. I do like the heroes to be, you know, not kind of superheroes. Lovely. What's IKEA here? There are a lot of GT stripes. I also don't know why Spider-Man, Venom, and this waifu are always here. Well, actually, just everything to the right of this column. Hey. Get that Lego sponsorship. Nope, I put in an E. I think it's just octane. That's the ticket. Well, my brother and I were the youngest cousins out of our kind of direct family. And one of the benefits of that was one of our cousins had, at the time, old Lego catalogs. And, oh, that was a good day when I discovered he had those. This was when I was like, had to be less than 7, I think. Good day. Good day. It's not the most creative one we've done. I will admit that. But it's, you know, it's customized. You can't deny that. You can try, but it will be disproven by the obvious customization on the screen. Now let me just hit. I'm back on the screen. Oh yes, just thinking about what you were saying, the actors, can't think of his name, the counterman, the black fellow from what was it? I can't think now. John Wick. I was gonna say Just Cause. Lance Reddick, thank you. He's also in Quantum Break and Fringe. He's a great actor, and more to the point, a fantastic voice. Yeah, Destiny 2. He was really in a surprising amount of video games. To my mind, at least. Okay, well, it handles pretty well. I mean, we're going to be on dirt, so we should probably test it on dirt. 6 gears will hopefully be very helpful in that we can really keep it in like the sweet zone. Like at all times, more so than we could if it was like a 4-speed gearbox. Given that we've only got 6,000 or 5,500 revs, I feel like anything more than that would be rough. Well, it's because we're friends on Xbox Live. It's like how Smokies and Shadows vinyls always turn up first on my suggested vinyls list. Because they're my friends on Xbox, so they turn up first. It's because the Xbox knew that you were watching my stream and they were like, yeah, he probably wants this tune. Gonna act like he doesn't at first, but he really does. I mean, we've seen how I go online. The game definitely doesn't love me. I think at many points it feels like the game kind of tolerates me. I was really hoping the steering wheel will be on the correct side of the road. Oh, this is a petrol engine. That is interesting. It also doesn't have a tachometer. You just kind of do it on speed, I guess. Or like vibes. If it vibes like it's should be gearing up, then you gear up. Did I just stop joining a thing? Yes, I did. You just noticed that the thing had disappeared off the top. Just for the last minute before we're jumping into this, as a special treat for turning up. Hi. Fingers are pretty well touching now. So we've got that tracking part fixed. I just need to fix the kind of the face situation. Hell yeah. That's good. Press forward. I mean, that's one way to get his attention. Or their attention, I should say. What game are you looking to play? Horizon, Dead by Daylight, GTA? Destiny 2, Warframe. I think those are all the games you've listed that you play. At least those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Toyota. Let's take this Toyota to victory. Octane. Enki. It's going well, Smokey. How are you? How's the week treated you? I think everyone's in unique vehicles. That's interesting. But it's going well. It was a productive day for me, which is nice. Got what I wanted to get done. That is good to hear, Smokey. Good to hear. We've basically arrived just as we've started racing. We're just about to do our first race in the trial. I know he's a big car, but he can't go around me. Man, that's a lot of credits. You could do what I did and follow Wolf's advice and buy the Porsche 906 Carrera 6. It's kind of like a race car. It's pretty good. Go around like a circuit and stuff. Like 1960 or so? 66, I think. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the drag tune is something else. It's crazy fast. Like the top speed is listed as like 457? Or something astonishingly high like that. And it only weighs like 700 kilos stock. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, that was very lucky. Oh wow, we're literally all in front of the AI. Damn. They're schooling them. I thought I did, but I didn't, so you've clearly already got a better eye than I did. I don't know, are there any like Shelby Cobras or Daytonas that you don't have? I don't know, I think you're just gonna have to join me and have 55 million credits in the bank. There were some really, really, really expensive cars added in, either in this update or the update before, weren't there? Like, I don't know, you could maybe invest in one of those. Damn, it's expensive. You should have, like, when you put on simulation damage, you should also have an option to put on simulation cost. So, like, the cars will cost as much as they should in real life. It'll like be pegged to auction results or something. I clearly expected there to be more off-roading. Crisperdale is very positive, very kind of energetic, like so, you know, always going go go go. The hero. Looking out for a homie like that by trying to slow down the AI. But yeah, that's a good one as well, Wolf. I hadn't really registered that. The F1 GT, if you haven't got it, would be another one if you wanted to clear out some cash. That can't be cheap. Like the old Auto Union or Mercedes F1 cars. Ooh, I was very nearly going to get overtaken by that Bronco. It's not quite as fast as I thought it might be. Or at least everyone else is faster than I thought they'd be. Oh, I see. The nerve. Crisperdale is in a Ford Raptor, which is 40 points my lesser, and is still crushing me. I think would be the best. I need to get back into Fortnite. More specifically, I need to have a look at the Lego Fortnite. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you went to uni just yet. Yeah, uni can be a real time sink. Plus, I know exactly where it works, so I can just kick in his door and say, "What are you doing? Come play Fortnite with me." I know where he works, what position he is, what position he wants to be, and who's above him in the corporate ladder. Ah, well, the time differences also can't help. Start the doxing. His coordinates are 86 degrees, 23 minutes, 33 seconds east. It is kind of crazy how what's the word, like vitriolic and well, not vitriolic, how vengeful, I guess, some people can get on the internet, and how much information they can find out about you when they want to. Thank you, Tegan. I was talking about it before, but maybe the 10-speed gearbox wouldn't have gone astray. For this engine's like rev range, it would basically have been a CVT. We could have constantly kept it in a sweet spot of like torque and horsepower. Classic. Yeah, my friend does it a lot. 11. She likes to really get those. What's it? You know, graphics just so. I think it's safe to say that FJ was maybe not the go. At least not the FJ as we configured it. Off-road ones today. Okay. Do we have a B700 Jeep? Yes, we do. Let's hop in and go racing. Boogity, 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 let's go racing.
In 400 meters, turn right.
I was really worried that was going to be a very solid tree.
400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Tell you what, chat, that 7 a.m. wake up is really taking a toll on me. I am very EP pilled.
Turn right. Turn right.
Just gotta get those points. Don't know.
In 200 meters, turn
The
right.
plot thickens.
Turn right. You have arrived at your destination.
Good morning, Inadequate. How are we? How is the world of Inadequate today? You'll get him eventually. Oh, like you said, you've got his, his GPS coordinates. You'll get him. Even if it's via a drone strike or something. Bro. I just realized I've got the same paint color as everyone else. Ugh. Imagine conforming in a car game. Ugh. Could be me though, as demonstrated by what you were seeing on screen. Damn it, Queso. Oh, look at you, Wolf, in first place. Can you, throw? Can you, like, crash? I'd be like, specifically, can you crash into McGrod? That would be super great. And, like, very appreciated. Literally, everyone is driving the same car. This Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT, like 2016 or so. Imbop. Smokey Media's full name is Imbop. First name Im, last name Bob. Imbop. Oh my goodness, I'm yawning so much. Could you imagine if that's what the noise you made when you yawned? Just like if it was like a long yawn, it was just a drawn out vine boom? No, only because the objective of this stream is one, to spend some time with y'all, but also two, to get 40 points. And allow for fart reverbs to occur, of course. We can't forget that. Gotta get those points. Absolutely inadequate. So I've got the Bucks thing tomorrow day, and then at one point there was planned to be a family function in the evening, so I was leaving the Bucks thing a little bit earlier because it goes into the night, which I was not particularly keen on going to. But that family thing is cancelled, so I will be streaming instead. We'll be back into Los Santos tomorrow. Ugh. That reward had the sound effect. One thing I'm thinking of doing, I haven't done it yet, obviously, but I was thinking of adding in a redeem for the channel, which would basically play the sound of a door opening. And then after a random amount of time, you know, maybe a minute, maybe 10 minutes or whatever, a horror sound effect happens. Like maybe the what was it, the horror string jump scare that you just played, or something else. So it's kind of a random length of time jump scare that in theory gets us all, including the Redeemer. Ow. Okay, this is bad. I should just add it in even if I don't play, just to give you a heart attack, or like just to raise your blood pressure ever so slightly. What is Welcome to the Game 2? I feel like that sounds familiar, but I can't place it. Or like I feel like I've heard Welcome to the Game as a game. I've gotten so many like emails recently, Smokey, from like spam accounts. It's crazy. Last year I got an email supposedly from Saudi Aramco, the Saudi Arabian oil company, saying they were, saying that, hi, I'm the CEO or whatever, and I'm looking to get rid of $1 million or whatever. Like, I doubt that, man. But I've also been getting a lot of ones kind of like that, where it's just like, hey, check out this photo I found of you. There was another, what was the other one? There was, the other classic one I've gotten a few times is the, hi, I recorded you while you were doing something that you wouldn't want people to see. Send me, 50 Bitcoin or whatever, and I'll delete the evidence. And it's like, I really doubt that you did, and also go for it. Thank you, Sergeant. Yeah. I know I've noticed them, and you guys may have as well, Australians among us, that is. At Woolworths and Coles, definitely. At the self-service checkouts, they have little signs saying, hey, just as a heads up, like the ATO, the Australian Tax Office, does not ask for payment in iTunes gift cards. So that's probably a scam. Don't fall for it. Because clearly people have been, coming into Woolworths and Coles buying iTunes gift cards to try and pay off some supposed debt or something. I've heard though that part of the reason that a lot of the scam emails are so like rote, I guess, so similar, so preposterous to many people, is that it helps to filter down very quickly into like the more gullible or more desperate portion of the target of the audience that's received the email. It filters it down to people that will actually kind of be worthwhile for the scammer to pay attention to, whereas people like ourselves, hopefully, are able to discern that it is a scam, and therefore we self-filter ourselves out so that the scammers don't have to work too hard or whatever to convince us. I believe that was like some sort of Microsoft research, because obviously, you know, they've got a fairly vested interest with their like Outlook and Hotmail stuff in terms of understanding junk mail and how that operates. But I've definitely noticed an uptick since COVID in the amount of junk mail I've been getting. And not just like junk mail, like I've been for almost a decade been getting emails from something called the Canadian Pharmacy advertising that I could, if I wanted to, buy Viagra at a very competitive price. But also more kind of actual, you know, seeking information stuff like that Saudi Arabian thing, or there was another one recently. Do you want to become a franchisee of a business in the States? Like get a green card, come to the States and run, I don't know, whatever it was. They didn't specify. Probably a sweatshop, and by run they mean work in it. I don't know why there's been an uptick in stuff since COVID. Like, I don't know if it's because, if it's like because people are more
In 100 meters,
susceptible to it. Like it's a more fertile field for scammers out there.
Horizon Arcade will begin shortly.
Or if the scammers are just more desperate, so they're throwing a wider net, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what is it that, enshittification? Yeah. I mean, look at things like, what was it recently? Amazon Prime Video is now adding at least in America, I think it is, it's a $3 fee on top of the normal subscription if you don't want to have ads.
You have arrived at your destination.
Otherwise, you will have ads.
You will arrive at your destination.
And there's Netflix, who's, you know, strict,
You have arrived at your destination.
made stricter. That's probably the right phrasing. The like password sharing stuff. There's a lot of that kind of stuff where they start good, and then it's just, in recent years, they've all just suddenly gotten worse, and like noticeably so. I have signed up to 3 streaming services, and they are all used primarily by my parents. I really don't watch much in the way of content outside of the occasional thing on streaming, and even then it's normally on free streaming provided by like the Australian Broadcast Corporation or the Special Broadcasting Service, both of which are free in Australia. Or YouTube and Twitch. So for a while it's been mostly YouTube I've been watching. This time last year I did sign up for, I think it was through Game Pass. I got 3 months free of Apple TV. So I did sign up to that and I watched, what was it? Separation? Sounds right? Whatever it was. The thing about the thing about having two separate lives, one at work and one at home. It was very good, whatever it was called. But I've cancelled that subscription since. And then I watched Andor when I went away in September. I went to an aunt's holiday house and they had a Disney Plus subscription up there. So I watched Andor. And I quite enjoyed that. I still have my problems with it, but as far as Star Wars goes, it was probably the best, some of the best I've seen in a while. But those are probably the two programs I watched in the last year. I just haven't watched much TV at all. I'm not sure why, to be honest. They're all the Cherokee 14. Cool. I still can't get over, every time I see it, how accurate to Aiden Pierce Case's character's outfit is. It's crazy how well he's recreated it. Back off-road, this time in unlimited off-road. Where we're going, we don't have limits. It was A800, wasn't it? Rally Fighter. I mean, there's also the fact that we, if you want to kind of keep abreast of everything that was on just a couple of streaming services a couple of years ago, you do really have to have nine services. Because now, you know, they've all got their own.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Nope.
400 400 meters.
Can I go through here? Yes, I can. Oh, I can't go through that though. I don't think I've ever driven through that in that way.
Recalculating route.
Like, I feel like I don't remember knocking out the ends of one of those tents before. I feel like that would just make, like, the munchies even worse. But I'm sure that's how Jamie Oliver or whoever was like, this is how I want my program watched. I want you to be stoned out of your mind and just going, hell yeah, that looks good. I'm kind of tossing up between going just as the eagle flies and following the roads. That would have been it. That's a convincing argument for following the roads, but we will keep trying to do as the eagle flies. And by that, I mean, I guess the crow flies, probably. That's the more accurate one.
Turn right. Turn right. In 100 meters, turn right. 200 meters, turn left.
Do we have any exciting plans, chat, for the weekend? As established, I've got a Bucks Day tomorrow, which is a little bit nerve-wracking for me. Because I have never been to one. I mean, we're talking about a relatively tame Bucks, in the sense that they're, as far as I know, the majority will be like from church, people who are in attendance, myself included. But it's just not something that I've really experienced before.
In 400 meters, turn right.
And something I'm not entirely certain I'd be experiencing again, to be honest. It's not something that I really get invited to.
400 meters, turn left.
Yes, because actually now that I think about it, after this Saturday, I'm going to have 2 Saturdays off. One for the family dinner that was rescheduled from this coming Saturday to the next Saturday. And then I've got the wedding for the Bucks for the Saturday after that, which I am emceeing the reception for. Which I'm feeling surprisingly chill about. I don't know. I'm not exactly the most masculine of men in terms of my interests or whatever. And it feels like it is a very masculine thing, a Bucks event. So I just don't know how to feel about it. The other thing is I'm almost certainly making a mountain out of a molehill. So there's a little bit of annoyance at myself because of that. Like I already feel guilty or cowardly, I guess, in that I haven't told them that the family dinner is cancelled, because I'm not particularly keen on staying for the whole, probably almost 12 hours all told. It starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and I'll be leaving at 6:30.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
I don't know. I'm probably overthinking things, to be honest. But it's definitely something different and something outside of my comfort zone. I mean, you're not wrong. Cars are stereotypically a masculine interest. But, I don't know. I don't know if I'm expressing myself correctly. And I don't know how I'd express myself better either. More accurately describe what I'm kind of feeling in terms of my uncertainty. These guys are properly quick in the electric cars. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that their acceleration is pretty astonishing. I think it's just the fact that it's unknown. Yes, sorry, a bachelor party, yes. I don't know why I've been calling it a bucks night. I think that's the English term for it, perhaps. Kind of the partner to a hen's night. Those guys are just gone. They're so far ahead. Okay. I think I figured out why it's not working. Well, that's not helpful, is it? It doesn't help the getting you to attend a bucks, does it? Or a bachelor's party. What was the Extreme E? Let's get in the Xbox colored one. Well, it's a lot quieter, that much is certain. Nope, that was the wrong button. Ugh, so bright. Sorry for the flashbang. Yeah, we just got a casual 700 newton meters of torque. Going up, what, a 45, 50 degree hill? I think it's basically nothing. As I mentioned before, gamers, underneath the speedometer there, we've got a new kind of ad tracker that'll keep you up to date as to when the ads will start. I don't know how accurate, like the second it is, but it should be pretty accurate. Where's the start for it? it's hidden.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
I mean, I've got a lot of friends that are married. I think. Yeah, I've got a few at least that are married. But apparently not good enough friends that I would be invited to a bachelor's or a bucks. Not that that's, you know, I'm not losing much sleep over that, but that's just how it is. Yeah, I think it's particularly in like slightly in the past and what have you, and definitely in movies, it's very much a this is the last time to do things before you get married kind of thing. But really kind of reinforcing the whole like ball and chain narrative with your partner. But I don't think that's the story for this one here. And like I said, I'll report back to you in, you know, a little under 23 hours. I'll give you the lowdown on what it was actually like. Yeah. Definitely having to concentrate a lot more on this than I thought I would need to. I do like the look of these cars. I think they are pretty cool. Like the shape. Very kind of Mars buggy or moon buggy in a sci-fi film. Shape to my mind. Almost completely goofed it just because I ran over a fence for a couple of meters too long.
Okay.
Now we just got to do that 2 more times. Like win. The unlimited off-road race. So there's that one. There's that one over there. Okay, so let's go to this one. And then that one should take us to the other one.
In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
No. No, I don't think I will.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right.
Ooh, that probably smarts.
You have arrived at your destination.
We get in the hole. It'd be fun. Something a bit different. Nah, let's stick with the E. For now, at least. If it turns out we regret it, then we can just come on back. The one concern I have is there are going to be a lot more straights in this section, I imagine, than there were in the previous one. Had a pretty reasonable amount of switchbacks. I'm just worried that that might affect things. Welcome on back from the ads, gamers. We were keeping pace with that Toyota pretty well. After keeping pace, I should say. Oh, the Illumicraft, sorry. Welcome in, Shadow. How are you today? Where are we parked up this morning? Ah. Okay. Is that something you enjoy doing, tolerate doing, or very much dislike? Ooh. Gee, that we were really hamstrung by that top speed. If that road was any longer, they were gaining on us something fierce. Yeah, I can imagine. I've never really had to do that kind of HR thing. At all, actually. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone has that in their CV or resume in some form of like wording. Yeah, let's go to Event Lab Island. Why not? Let's go on a road trip. Yeah, my hobbies include socializing or just like standing around the water cooler. Like, cool. My hobbies include that as well. I also like to talk to people. What do we reckon, chat? Here we go for a off-road quattro or an on-road quattro? I don't know. Let's go to the RS4 and just wing it. See what happens. Worst comes to worst, we can always quit and load back in. Oh, cool. The game capture crashed. Rad, rad, rad. Okay, we're back. Well, we choose the right kind of quattro, it looks like. Because we are on tarmac. Very impressive. This reminds me awfully of like Trackmania a lot, actually. Just turned into a brawl, did it? My car was just not right for the trial. I had a FJ40, the old Toyota, and it just didn't have the top speed for it. I definitely should have used something, I don't know, with just more top speed. Whether that be that car or something else. The handling was fine enough. I think I just underestimated how on-road it would be. Wolf out here schooling me. Aha! Thank you, creator, for slowing down a little bit there. I was mildly tempted by the dually. Someone else had the dually. But I, like I said, ended up going for the FJ40 and regretted it. Even the dually was faster than me. I was the slowest of the players. That said, we all we only did 2 races, and for each of them, all of the players were basically in front of... Oh, that's a lot of tires. In front of the AI. No, more tires. No, it's a bit too much on-road, I think. Yeah, get your tires here. They are real, actually, as it turns out. Not fake tires. Get your not fake tires here. 20 a dozen, 20 a dozen. I could become a tire monger, I guess. Come over here, knock all these tires off, and then pick them up and take them home. Do you have to buy like really big boy tires, or like this is for your Mercedes, or are we talking about ones that you have to buy for work, which I imagine are just enormous, both in size compared to a car tire and its cost? I mean, tires full stop are surprisingly expensive. I have been lucky enough that I haven't had to buy tires yet for my car, or any car actually, that I've been driving. But from what I hear, they can be really quite expensive. Which is not something you think they would be. Like, they are just, when you get down to it, rubber. And some wire and stuff, but I guess it's all like the R&D that goes into it or something. I don't know. I find that the other weird thing, like there's not more kind of standardization in tires and rims by extension.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. In 100 meters.
Like if for whatever reason Pirelli stopped making tires for your car, then you're buggered, basically. You'd have to get new rims at that point, basically, to try and get tires from Goodyear or Michelin or whatever that do fit.
Turn sharp left.
Is that 85 profile your Goodyears for your truck? Or is that for the Pirellis? No, it must be for the truck. Yeah, 85 is not insignificant, but it's also thinner than I thought it would be.
You have arrived.
I figured it would be like 3 digits. Like 100 profile at least. But 85 isn't too far off 100, it's still quite chunky. I reckon the Quadrifoglio is what we go for. That would be funny to drive the XTS, obviously. Fortunately, we could drive the C63 AMG Coupe, the V60 Polestar, any number of BMWs, or we could drive that Year 8 Zhao's favorite car. Yeah, let's do Year 8 proud. Year 8 Zhao proud. I don't know if you're able to, or, you know, check the Discord recently, Shadow, but I've got a new friend for the desk in the photos channel now. I've been eyeing it off for a while, and I did end up picking it up. A little Minecraft fox lamp. It's really quite adorable, actually. I first saw it before Christmas, and it was on sale for $15, and I don't know why, but I said no then. And it just hasn't left my mind, and I've been thinking about it ever since. So I ended up spending $48 on it. Admittedly with my boss's gift card. Yeah, I've probably got too many things that auto open. I've got the Discord, Steam auto opens, phone link auto opens. I don't really use that. I've got voice meter for the the audio shenanigans that I do for the stream. That auto opens, and I think that's it. I mean, Discord, if I haven't said that already as well. Gotta get those tunes on. What's Music Bee? Is it like, is it a repackaging of like Spotify, or is it a more old-fashioned just music player? Oh, right in the kisser. I feel like I recognize the name Music Bee. Ah, okay. Classic. I don't even know where I'd go to buy offline music like these days. Like if I wanted to buy an MP3, I guess I'd go to Bandcamp, but I wouldn't think that's a guarantee for like all music. SoundCloud maybe could be another option. I mean, I guess you could just buy a CD, right? Of course. No, I mean, I did that back in the day. I completely forgot about it though. Because I didn't have iTunes. Until... I didn't have iTunes, and I never have. I was a hipster, and instead I was the only person probably in all of Sydney in 2011 who bought a Zune. So I used the Zune music player, which is apparently still supported and was very good at the time. I enjoyed it a lot. So I did buy some music through there because they had a very good music streaming plan back in the day where you could stream, you know, whatever you wanted, but then you could also keep something like 5 songs forever. They had that for a while. I think that may have been grandfathered by the time I turned up there. It's weird that there are some things that I think I torrented that aren't or weren't on YouTube last I checked. Specifically, just off the top of my head, the soundtrack for the 1999, maybe 2000, I think it's 1999, BBC documentary The Planets. It has some fantastic orchestral music to it, but it's just not there. I mean, I predominantly will listen to talkback radio when I'm driving inadequate, or podcasts. I'm not really a huge music listener. I mean, I reveal after basically having this conversation. I'm definitely more of a podcast person, or like a listening to talking person. But we have unlocked Koenigsegg CCX. Now for the Lycan. I think is vaporware, the Lycan. I don't think it was ever actually like produced as a car. Any like meaningful sense. I might be wrong on that. Let's get in a faster Audi. This one is probably the fastest. I think it depends. I say I'm a podcaster, but I really only listen to one podcast, and that's my brother, and me, with the McElroy brothers. It's a comedy podcast, comedy advice podcast. And I wouldn't say they're too obnoxious, but I could see that they might be an acquired taste. Is it like that scene from Jurassic Park Shadow where like the people at their cafe, their waters start vibrating from the base as you like, oh, Shadow's coming. I can tell. How? Well, it's beating at 120 BPM. He must be coming.
400 meters. Turn left.
I do sometimes listen to music. No, they are not experts, even though Travis does insist he is a sexpert. But if there's a degree in his walk, I haven't seen it. The only other thing I should mention is this show isn't for babies. Something, what's up, you cool babies? I used to also listen to the Tiny Meat Gang podcast. Something else. Or the TMG podcast, as they probably used to. I'll just say if I get a new gig, like a new job wherever, and it's taking a train, I am kind of looking forward to that. That is definitely something I do miss a little bit from university. And that might be partly because of just a different life stage or whatever. But it was really nice to be able to just get on the train and have to not do anything because you can't. So you just put on a podcast and just kind of enjoy the ride, look at the scenery. I do sometimes when like the depression is hitting like for real, or it's just been one of those days at work and you just get in the car and you're like, this is a no audio kind of trip, my man. I'm gonna drive this 20 minutes in absolute silence.
You have arrived at your destination.
Yeah, strangely enough, my 1.4 cylinder naturally aspirated engine doesn't give off that much noise. Okay, so we're doing Fords. Let's get in the cop car. Get in the cop Falcon. The New South Wales Horizon Police Force. Oh, not quite right. I should just like run the pipe through my car's interior. Just like lift it up into through the floor of the car a couple of inches, just so it's there. Or you could do what a lot of cars do these days and just set up a system to pipe some sick-ass car audio into your car through the speakers. I feel like that's maybe not the most orally rich engine note, though. So I could be the first, well, that I know of at least, the first Hyundai accent with some enormous twin stacks on it. Oh wow, this is quite impressive. The lighting doesn't really do it justice though. Well, I mean, that is a good point, actually. It's what I'd really need is to have the stack on like a pivot system. So during the summer, I can just stick it straight up and not have it in the cabin. But then during the winter, I can like open a door in the roof and pivot it down so it's inside to keep me toasty. I mean, it might fit in my car if I drove from like the rear seat. If I just, or vice versa, if I put it in the boot / back seats, and then just had the front, the bonnet as like the boot, the hood as the trunk for those Americans listening. Then it might fit. Or instead of like mounting it flat, you know, with the drivetrain kind of horizontal to the ground, the crankshaft horizontal to the ground, we mount it upright to the bonnet and boot. Have it upright so that the crankshaft is vertical. I realized this the other day. I can't remember what it was I was doing, but I was looking at hood options for a car, and it may have been in Saints Row or something. I can't remember, or possibly even in GTA. I can't recall. But I was thinking at the time that like my first encounter of those terms of hood was in Need for Speed. So I think for a while, hood was not synonymous with bonnet so much as it was with like the air intake stuff or the cooling stuff in the bonnet. So you'd have like a hood on your bonnet, or your bonnet would have a hood. They're almost like two separate but complementary parts, I think, in my mind for a while. Admittedly, I first played it when I was 8. Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe 11 might be a bit more accurate, though. I think that's when I first played it, yeah, 11. So, inadequate, why do you want me to say bonnet and boot again? Hey, it's the Playground Games logo. Man. Is it because my enunciation is so perfect? Definitely not for creepy reasons. Well, that's good. That's the important part. Because if it was for creepy reasons, then I would at least ask for payment. Now, what's the go? Do we have the C-type? I don't think we do. No, we don't. So we've got to do... Huh? Can we finish this? So we didn't. That's embarrassing. All right, once more with gusto. Well, at the very least, I need the blues and twos on the roof. The whirly-doos. Could have sworn I did 3 races of this. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't do that one down the bottom. Ah, damn it. Oh, well. Let's get back in this. Speaking of which, that is on the list of games for this year. Whirly-doos. I don't know if that's like an Australianism or a Commonwealthism, or if it's just a Jawism. But I do not uncommonly call them whirly-doos. Probably from like the 50s, where it was like just a single spinning light on the roof. Now that I think about it. Now I just got the whirly-doo. And then they became whirly-doos. And there were more than one. Maybe. He says knowing absolutely nothing about the etymology of the word. That's the spot. Say bonnet again. Just the weirdest ASMR possible. Whirly-doos. Bonnet. Boot. I couldn't help but notice, officer, that you had your whirly-doos on. Was it something wrong with my bonnet or boot? I will never understand ASMR streamers, I don't think. Or ASMR videos in general. It's just not something that seems at all kind of entertaining to me. I'm happy to provide. 4 a.m. in the morning though. Cat, I figured you were getting up early. Guess that's that logistics transportation lifestyle, huh? Or transportation logistics, sorry. There we go. Here I am complaining about getting up at 7 a.m. in the morning today. Get to a psychologist. Okay, there you go. I also feel like ASMR videos can, as a genre, can just get really weird, full stop. That's a good point, and inadequate. You would be up just running around the house anyway, so you might as well be with me on stream, listening to weird kind of Jow/Commonwealth ASMR. like all the fart ones, where it's just normally women just absolutely ripping ass into the microphone. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is different. I say, says Shadow. Almost spilling his tea. How uncouth. Just not cricket, really, is it? Well, I mean, I haven't watched it myself. I think I discovered it existed because of someone else making a video about ASMR. I'd say, how rude. How very unladylike. Through a video talking about ASMR streamers and how this was an example. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Like, there were people out here buying gamer girl bathwater after all. I figure that there'd be an audience for this kind of thing. Unfortunately.
In 400 meters, turn
Before you ask, no, I will not be selling Gamer Fox bathwater.
turn right.
In no small part because I do not own a bath. And no, I will not be going to my parents' place to explain to them why I need to borrow the bath. So I hope that puts any kind of merch ideas just at rest. Oh man, I need to get a haircut before this wedding on the 27th. I don't know if I told you guys, but when would it have been? It would probably have been on... Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, just before Christmas. My hair was quite long. I'd been meaning to get a haircut, but because of work and what have you, I just hadn't gotten around to it. So I just went into a place at the local shopping center, and it just didn't go well. It's one of those times, I'm sure we've all had it, where they just go in with the shaver and you just see it's going in too deep, and you're like, well, I guess I'm committed now. I'm just gonna have to ride this one out and see how it ends up. And my friends, it did not end up great. Not terrible, but not great. Yeah, in for a penny, in for a pound. Like, there's not really much you can do when they've done that, right? You can't tell them, stop, for the other side, can we cut it a little bit less short? No, that's just how it is now. At the very least, you're gonna have to make it even. Basically what he did, the chap, was he did a very, very kind of short shave on the sides and the back, but then did almost literally nothing on the top and the fringe. I actually had to ask for him to trim the fringe. And so basically I had kind of like a trial comb over. It was weird. Oh, it is weird, I should say. Partly because I just don't know how to speak to hairdressers. Like, I don't know what my usual is in terms of, you know, a 3 side and back and a number 5 on the top or whatever. I don't know. There's no way. How are you gaining on me? We're in the same car. There's no way. I feel like that's what they were going for a little bit. I don't think I could pull off a fade though. I'm a white guy. I'll admit, I have hair, at least. I'm not like my brother who is going bald. But it's not great. Incomprehensible instructions. An adequate walks in, speaks Aramaic to the hairdresser, and sits down and hopes for the best. And hands the hairdresser like a piece of parchment from the Necronomicon. Like, I want my hair like this. See this creature that drives you insane? That one. Oh, do you go for straight? Shadow. My hair definitely is, like it's not
400
curly.
meters, turn right.
I've got a friend from school/uni who's a blonde,
Turn right.
and his hair is curly, and if he leaves it long enough, it will kind of turn into an afro. Eldritch hairdressing, absolutely, 11. Welcome on in. Hope you have a good end to your week. But I'm kind of the same. It's like another language to me, and I really need to, I don't know, take like a night course or read a book or something on how to speak to a hairdresser.
When it is safe to do so.
Like what is a number 3 on the sides, and do I want that? The one thing that I've done for my hair that I'm very proud of, I've never really done anything exciting with my hair. Currently my hair is the most exciting it's ever been, I think, because of this messed up haircut.
You will arrive at your destination.
Well, no, I lie actually. The most exciting it ever was just after the lockdown here in Sydney. So I hadn't been to the hairdresser for a while when the lockdown started, and then there was another 3 months or so before I could actually go again. And I had a mullet at the end of it. And I am forever disappointed in myself that I didn't take a photo of it before I got it cut. Because I don't think I will ever have it again. Currently, I have not shampooed or conditioned my hair for probably at least a year and a half. No, longer. Probably 3 years. I stopped it during the COVID lockdown. To have the power of God and anime. Not even a hint of a lie. Now this might be a single person's gambit in that I don't sleep with a partner, so it doesn't necessarily matter so much if my hair is stinky or whatever. I don't think it is, but there's no one to complain to me if it is. But there's no, like, I mean, 11's seen me in person. I wouldn't say it's particularly obvious. It's not like it's matted, it's not, all tangled up. It's, yeah, there you go, see? We could be, us non-shampooers could be like living among you guys and you wouldn't even know it. Well, I think hair dye is slightly different though, 11. Like if you're wanting a consistent coloration, then you can't really leave it for too long. Man, this car is so quiet. I mean, what is this, 1984 inadequate? Jeez. I thought this was America. Where's my freedom? It is an EV, like, I'm not surprised. Let me rephrase. I'm not stunned. I'm not like, oh my gosh, there's no noise. It's just more like, damn, this is actually really quiet. Classic Jow. Hey, is this an EV? Oh, that's what Eon stands for. I thought it was for, like, ethanol. They are a really nippy car. I was tempted by it, but this one is just really cool. And I also like the look of it. It's got a kind of moon buggy kind of look to it, and I like that. They're good looking cars. Like in terms of shape, I think. I can definitely see them in like a Tom Cruise space film or something. As a Mars rover or some such. Or like the Netflix Lost in Space. I could see these ones being used as like a moon buggy there. Ah, okay, that makes sense. I figured they were like an electric company. Or an electric adjacent company, but I didn't think they were like a provider. Ow. That's kind of cool. I was thinking that I should repaint it so it's not this kind of basic color scheme, but I can't remember if you can or not. I can't recall. While we wait for the race to finish, I will just take this moment to do a little bit of show and tell. We are working on it. We're getting there. We've got finger interaction, like they're definitely closer. Like I am touching them physically. That is my hair currently, but I'm tempted to just turn it off. So it's just the skull. I also want to talk about to the modeler and texturer and all that kind of stuff about what is it? AR kit for the situation we're facing here. There we go. See, that's me touching my nose. So as you can see, we're still working out the kinks in the system in terms of like positioning of sensors and what have you. But that is the future of the stream right there. That is tomorrow's streamer today, as it were. Wait, hold on. Did I have the? Oh, that's why. Hold on. That's better. I had the iPhone locked. Now it's open, and now everything's reacting a bit better. Are my eyes closed? Because my eyes are closed. It is flipped. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and figure it out. So I've got the iPhone and I've got a Leap Motion. I've had the Leap Motion for literally like 8 years. 8 years. What am I talking about? 8 months? What am I, an idiot? 8 months. And then I've had the iPhone for probably 3 months. Eight whole years? I think that's before Leap Motion was like a company, isn't it? I was actually the original developer of the Leap Motion product, and I thought it was a good system, so I sold it. Trouble is, I invested all my money in Bitcoin, so it went down the drain. But it's definitely a work in progress. But we're getting there. It's part of the... Because I want to kind of redo some of the stream. Like, I don't know if having the chat in the row up top is necessarily the best. Or if it would be more usual to have, like... You know how more streamers have, like, the wall of text? Thank you. Well, that was principally my modeler, Lena Cat, who did that. I basically sent her, like, I sent her these images here. Like, this is what I have, and this is what I kind of want it to look like. I'll put it in the Discord, the kind of images that I sent through, and then she came back with this, and I agree. I do think the kind of hydraulic looking stuff's pretty cool. It's even in the wrist a little bit. You can see it kind of there as my hand wigs out. and the shoulders and everything look kind of neat. Yeah, I think it works well. I'm happy with it. Ideally, hold on. Let's go over here. Let's go to the other computer. What were the controls again? Was it Alt? Yeah. The feet are a little bit busted custard, but I think that's partly my fault. We got shorts, of course, because we got to have the privacy. The Jowinator. I just needed, what, like a single red eye. When foot stream? Look, 11, we're gonna have to round up a couple of subs for that one, my man. I'm not gonna get the dogs out for free, guys. That's gonna be that'll have to be like a stretch goal or something for the for a subathon or some such. Bean stream. But yeah, we're just gonna swap back to this for the time being. Hopefully that'll I don't think it'll happen before the affiliate anniversary, because that's in early February, but hopefully in the beginning of the year. Well, thanks for dropping in, 11. I appreciate it. I'm glad I could show you the progress that is being made. So what do we need? We need 11 points. That's an awfully loud lurker we've got there. Take a photo of any Porsche in Guatajuato. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna miss it a little bit, to be honest. It is kind of a, oh my goodness. Inadequate Quack. Let's try that again. Inadequate Cat, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it immensely. You're gonna force me to make an actual sub goal for the Bean stream. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that immensely. Inadequate. I could. That's not a bad idea, actually. Because it's not like, it's not overly intensive to have both of them open at once. That would make sense with the old redeem that I have. So when the old redeem is done, then the old PNG comes up as well. Maybe that's how it could work. But thank you for that idea, Elvin. That's a good one.
In 400 meters, turn left.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. I am legitimately so proud of, where is it? Of this. It took me like a literal entire afternoon to do, but I do love that I have basically recreated the GTA 4 style like intro, just with my character on all of the different GTA 5 loading screen characters, even with like the little moving parts and stuff. I felt like a real hacker. Like 11 will just go pish posh when I say this, but I actually had to open the there's a tool called Open IV. It was originally for GTA 4, which is where the IV comes from. But it's basically a thing that allows you to get into the system files or the game files for the different Rockstar games. So I had to like bust into there to get the loading screen images. And these ones, luckily, they've got the background and then the foreground. So the characters you see moving with my face on it is the foreground character, and then the background is the background. So I had to get both of those out, export those as PNGs, and then, yeah, make it all fit. But no, I'm glad you like it, because I do actually enjoy making them. I do really like them. I do have it on my Twitter. I should post it in the Discord. I do have it on my Twitter with the. Hold on a second. We can make this work actually. Let's go back here. And what we'll do is we will add a media source. GTA Jow. Let's open up a local file. Where did I put it? In here? In here? In here? Nope. In here. In here. In here. Hold on, we just got to download 100 and something megabytes of raw MP4 power. So I had that in there because it was originally for TikTok, was my intention. But it's basically just what I showed you before, but with the GTA 4 loading music, which in my opinion is infinitely superior to the GTA 5 stock loading music. Like I said, it took me probably 5, maybe 6 hours in total, because this was all done in OBS, which is probably the worst way to do it. But I wanted to use it each time we did a GTA 5 stream, to have this as like the intro or the BRB screen background. But I really enjoy the work of kind of compositing Jow onto the characters of the game that I'm playing for advertisement, like be that on GTA 5 or I think one of my favorite ones is probably the Jedi, what was it? Jedi Survivor? No, Fallen Order. Yeah, they've got loading down the bottom. Very nice. So yeah, that's that. I'll slap it in the Discord videos tab after stream. Let's just turn that off. But thank you. I am quite proud of it. Took a lot of work, but I think it paid off in the end.
Turn left.
And I mean, that's definitely one thing that I don't think I'll be getting rid of anytime soon. I think PNG Jow will definitely live on in those kind of advertisement images and stuff. Yeah, have a good one, Adequate. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you have a good end to your work week. And I hope I'll see you in a little bit over 22 hours. Yeah, I must confess, the videos that Rin has put up in the Discord of where he's like composited like the Horizon stuff and like Need for Speed videos and stuff together has definitely made me want to do something similar for some of like my Horizon gameplay or something.
In 400 meters, turn sharp left. Turn sharp left.
actually really like this generation of 911s. I was previously very much a 911 hater, but this one really won me over. Ah, no, that's cool. Yeah. So you'll basically take turns jumping into drone mode and recording each other. Is that the plan? Because I was impressed the quality of the footage that Rin was able to get out of basically just using the I think it was the replay system he was saying. Like that was really impressive. So it's got me thinking about that.
In 400 meters.
Yeah, okay.
Turn left.
Oh, so you're going to record yourself driving around the, like from this perspective, approximately, of you driving around the festival. Oh yeah, I mean it's basically like a film production at that point, right? You know, because you've got to make sure everyone is hitting their marks. You know the car's going to come in from the left and then take this long to go to the right. Okay, we're here. Where do we want to take our photo?
At the roundabout, take the
Maybe
second
there?
exit.
Yeah. Because it's not like it's not in the game either. They do have it in the game, just in the garages only, or in the player houses or what have you, only. But it is like a feature of the game. What am I doing? I'm looking for photo mode. Come on, yeah. Up on the D-pad. Okay, there we go. I tell you what, quite literally, probably my favorite update to Horizon 5 is the photo mode. Like, just the fact that you can go, actually, I want it to be evening. No, maybe sunset. But for real, I think we're wanting sunrise? Not dawn, maybe? Yeah, that's a bit more like it. Yeah, I'm really hoping that that is coming. Like, I'm really hoping that things like the new Test Drive Unlimited and you know, the new cruise and stuff like that will be kind of pushing that. Or pushing Playground to do that. Crowd enabled. Drivers disabled? No, where's... How do you deploy the boy? Character, driver seat. I really do wish you could rotate them, though. That's the only thing. Yeah, that would be sick, actually. Being able to do that and have... I want to go the other way with the aperture. Get too far. Just enough to get those people out of foot. There we go. Yeah. Like, it would be really cool if they added to the drone mode or whatever, like a slow-mo camera. Even if it took like a couple of minutes to like chew it over and add in the extra detail. So you could do what you were saying. You could have those super slow burnouts. Yeah. Yeah. Or even just like simple things like super slow-mo, like raindrops down the side of the car or something like that. Could always do the dab, but that's maybe a little bit too extra for what we're looking for. The only thing I don't like about this is the fact that I cannot rotate my person. The fact that they are always facing like out from the car directly, you can't rotate them around. Like it would be sick if I could have it in this pose and then position her basically where I am, over near the menus and stuff, and then have the photo being taken kind of behind her, as if we're kind of looking at what she will have, like a behind the scenes thing. Yeah. I think it's a good first step. I think there's definitely more to be done. That's kind of got a certain something to it. What? Oh, I hit reset to default. Gosh darn it. Well, firstly, we're putting that on quality because we're not Neanderthals. Weird Post Rain has a more interesting sky. Go back through all of these. It would also be nice if you could just click on this and then have a menu pop up, like for car selection. Hey, there we go. Yeah, there definitely is. Let's try and get a little bit of aperture up in the club. No, I think that's too focused on the avatar. I don't know why I'm so worried about all this. This is literally just a thing to do to get points, really. You know, when you do something, you might as well do it right, right? Actually, we'll just do this, do this. Okay, we're going to turn off the grid. Sure. No, I could save preset. 4's a 1. That'll do. Save as new. Then we'll just save that manually. Okay, so we got our points. We got the photo to prove it. We got some accolades to, because we saved a preset in the camera. Okay, what are we doing? Where is this? Over there? And this one over there? And that one is over there. Okay, well, let's go to this one first. S1 900 modern sports cars. Okay. Is it to select a different preset, Shadow? Like I kind of suggested, I've never actually known that you could. Modern sports cars, S100. So the car we're in would count. Lotus and Mira would also count. It's not quite fast enough. We need probably as much. Griffith is a... Okay, well maybe we're doing that then. think we might be jumping in the Griffith. That's probably going to be the best in terms of top speed. And also it's a TVR, and those are kind of cool. Yeah, the stats didn't seem to reflect the kind of
At the round
900
take the third exit.
vibe, but I guess it was. I mean, it's almost certainly not got the stock engine in it, obviously. Yeah, it definitely, I mean, I definitely do have a tendency to do that. Do a more handling build than anything. I guess the hope being that maybe the agility will come in clutch. Never seems to online though. I think out of all of the cars that I looked through just then, probably my favorite would be that Lotus Emira. It is a really, really good looking car. And it also just sounds so nice. In fact, I'm just going to jump in it now. Oh, we've got the NSX as well. That is interesting. That might be a better option. We've also got the Alpine. Okay. Where was it? Oh, that's why. We don't have the thing on. That's why. Ooh, I was getting so excited. We still have the Alpine. Okay. Where's that Emira? It legitimately is one of my favorite sounding cars, I think. If I remember correctly. Yeah, I do. It also just looks fantastic as well. The current styling, I guess you could styling guide or whatever you want to call it, design ethos at Lotus, big fan of it. Yeah, I mean the S2000 is such a classic option. Design language, thank you. I am having one of those nights. I think I'm just a little bit flustered, to be honest, because this soft VTuber, 3D VTuber debut, and the kind words about the GTA intro. Oh, I'm just blushing over here. I'm all flustered.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Yeah, that's a good question. I imagine, like, surely they will. The Lotus SUV doesn't look terrible. I've only seen a couple of photos of it, but it doesn't look terrible, which is pretty impressive.
400 meters, turn left.
Because, as I've mentioned before, I'm not a huge fan of the DBX.
Turn left.
And I'm not a big fan of the... I haven't mentioned it, but I'm not a big fan of the Urus, or Urus. I feel like the concept car just looked a lot better. Yeah, you are right. There is quite a limited amount of SUVs. There's a lot more pickup trucks and kind of buggies and what have you than there are SUVs. Oh yeah, the Q7 with like the V12 diesel, that'd be sick. Give me those weird engines. Do we have the Touareg with the V10 diesel? I think we do, right? Or we used to in one of the older games, I can't remember which. It was in the older ones then. Yeah, okay. That's why, because we did that recently for the Christmas community night. That's why I remember seeing it not long ago. Okay, well, this is clearly not going to reach 273 along here. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the Porsche. That might be a good place to start. This one. The R50, yes. I saw one of those, what was it, car sales or something recently? Yeah, it's quite common here too, actually. Also, it's the new one, at least, is basically the Ford Ranger underneath. So it wouldn't exactly be any enormous handling differences or anything like that. But yeah, the amount of variance of the Ford Ranger they've got is probably a bit much. That's a pretty good day of car spotting. The Amarok is probably, if I had to buy a ute or a pickup truck, whatever you want to call it, it would be an Amarok. I think that should be the, yep, there we go. What next? I think this one next. I might as well just use this car, isn't it? The only problem is the anti-lag is a little bit annoying. So I think I would probably, if I was in the market for an Amarok, I would probably get a last generation Amarok. And that's the same for probably getting, if I was in the market for a Golf. And possibly even a Polo as well. It's because I have been in a current generation Amarok. And they're very touch-centric. Like, everything's in the touchscreen, basically. The Warrior, I think that's... I'm imagining it's the same car, but that's probably what we call the Triton down here, I think. I think, if I remember correctly from what I read, they partnered up with Nissan for the new Triton in Australia, at least.
Recalculating route. In 400 meters, turn sharp right.
The primary reason I get the Amarok, I think, is because of the
100 meters, turn right.
twin turbo 4-cylinder diesel that they have. It seems to be like a more economical, but also pretty powerful power plant as compared to just the standard 4-cylinder TD. Well, yeah, I mean, that is very on brand for you going for the X-Class. And I imagine you can get them pretty cheap these days. I don't think there's a huge demand for X-Classes. Could you imagine if the X-Class was actually at least partially successful? There would have almost certainly have then been an Audi one and a BMW one as well. Yeah, the X-Class has almost fallen off the face of the earth here too.
Turn around when it is safe to do.
There we go, that one.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think I see more R classes than I do X classes.
Turn right. In 400 meters.
There's an R class down that's parked on a house on the side of an A road down from where I live, and sometimes if I'm driving kind of towards the city, I'll drive past it.
Turn sharp.
Yeah, I feel like that's just so bonkers.
Turn sharp left. In 200 meters, turn sharp right. Turn sharp right.
Like, how cool would that be to have what is basically a slight soft roader, but it was kind of a soft roader MB, and then have like just an astonishing amount of power in it. And it also had all-wheel drive before a lot of other AMGs did, so I wouldn't be surprised if you could really kind of give us like a C63 a run for its money in terms of like a drag or whatever.
Turn left.
Well, the CLK's died, hasn't it? Isn't that just the C class now? Like they went on some sort of rationalizing bent of kind of getting rid of a lot of
Turn right.
those extraneous. The C class has it.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
There's a C class here.
You have arrived at your destination.
Oh, that's not ideal. Oh, that's fine, we did. Huh. I'm almost certain there's a new one here. I'll have to check next time. I'm checking out the magazine. Smash companion cubes in Valley de las Ranas. Yes. Well, I think... Hold on. Well, hold on. We'll just do it on the internet. I think in Australia, at least, they've still got the C class. At least the last I checked, they did. Yeah, just those ones, thanks. Yeah, so we've still got the C class here, at least for the time being. It's probably, yeah, like that. It's almost certainly not as common as any of these ones. These ones are just all over the place. All the SUVs. Yeah, okay, so the CLA is the coupe. I don't mind the look of the CLA. I was always a fan of the CLS. Do they still have that? No, they've got the CLE. I guess that's the CLS. Oh, no, it's not. It's just a straight-up coupe. Okay. Is that because they just haven't gotten around to it, though? Like how, it takes some time for like the new M class to turn up and all that kind of stuff. Now, what were we looking for? We were looking for the Valley des las Ranas. That's Copper Canyon. That was my first guess. San Juan. Is undescribed. I guess it's just a continuation of Copper Canyon. Valley de Serranos. Where are you? Oh, cool. It's crashed again. Okay. Thank you. You weren't missing much. I was just scoping around the map trying to find the place. OBS and Task. Northeast of the map, next to the Eliminator. Okay, thank you. That I was hoping you'd tell me. I should have noticed that you weren't, and therefore there was an issue. Here's the Eliminator again. There's the Eliminator. Oh, there she is there. Oh, it's this section here. Yeah, okay. I barely ever go over here. Let's get there real quick, like. What do we want to drive? Something quick. Not too quick. Something classy. Well, we could get in the new one, actually. Yeah, I feel like I've only ever gone there for, like, the stunts.
Turn right.
It's Zhao. Commander Zhao.
In 200 meters.
It's on the wrong side.
Right.
That's a real shame.
Turn right.
I mean, I feel like, particularly this car, the DBS, I feel like it'd be hard-pressed to choose a different color. Yeah, no, I can definitely see black, but I feel Aston's, particularly the DBS, is just kind of a silver color, and maybe that's because of, like, Casino Royale, where it is in the silver.
In 400 meters, turn sharp left.
I forgot there's a convertible DBS. We're just going to take a really sharp left here.
In 100 meters, turn sharp right.
Yeah, that's a proper open road. Let's hit up Route 66 kind of car.
400 meters.
We'll go to the Riviera.
Turn left.
Yeah, right? Oh. I mean, that'd be the absolute dream, right? Win the lottery and then just hire... I don't think I'd ever buy one of these cars just because, you know, the hassle of maintaining and all that kind of stuff. But, like, win the lottery and hire one and then just go for a trip to the, you know, the French Alps or the Italian Alps or the Swiss Alps in one of these bad boys. Or one of its contemporaries. Like maybe even like a really nice F-Type? Is that it? F-Type? Yeah. The F-Type SRV? Whatever the top of the range one is. Zhao's arrived. What's good? What you do is you pull up with the top down at the lights and just with the sunglasses on, obviously, because you're cool. And then, you know, you do the thing where you... Oh, I've just got to hold the trigger. I've got to keep accelerating and driving while doing this. Not that you can see it, but like pull down the sunglasses with one finger where you've got the hand on the steering wheel, just like down the ridge of your nose and like ladies, and then just drive away at the lights.
400 meters. Turn sharp left.
I mean, it also comfortably settled for things like the, what was it, the gull wing kind of thing. Yeah, the SLS AMG. I'd be very happy with that. Obviously, you know, friend of the channel, the SLR, I'd also be happy to do it in that. Yes, and I was going to say the AMG GTR would also be another fine choice.
Turn left. In 200 meters.
I think I could settle for a Bentley Continental if it was the latest generation. I wasn't as taken by the earlier ones, but the current ones are pretty fine specimens in my opinion.
In 200 meters, turn right. Turn right.
Oh, they just turn off. Interesting. Right. I think you've done your dash. Let us find something a little bit better suited. A Warthog. Yeah, well, that is a problem. It looks like they just turn off all the textures and it's just like the global illumination map or something left over. Oh, wow, I really wanged that. Hell, I'd settle for like a V8 Vantage, to be honest. Yes, that's a good choice. We do love a hint of shooting brake,
You have arrived.
as we do in this channel. Well, I was going to say, I'd have a hard time doing it, but you might have more success, just in terms of driving it. But something even as kind of niche as like a good Maserati Merak. Like, unironically, I do think that is an incredibly attractive car. Trouble is I just can't drive a manual. Certainly not well enough to drive a Maserati Merak. Well, I was going to say, I mean, surely the goal is you win the lottery and then you've fixed up your what is it? Flip. It's not a Lincoln. It's not an Oldsmobile. It's a. I should know this. Your old American car. I mean, the absolute dream, if I could drive a manual well, would be to do it in an E-Type Jag. That's the absolute dream. Yeah, sure, we'll give it a send. There's new players. That'll probably be pretty bitching if you got that straight out of the gate. I think a part of me would also, I'd have to do, what was it? What was I going to say? I'd have to at least try and hire a, what's the word? Lamborghini Gallardo. Just like a stock one. Like a base model all-wheel drive V10. Just because those were my favorite cars for a while. Let's have a cheeky look, shall we, chat? Damn. That's a straight up villain's car. Like, that's the kind of thing you see in Cruella de Vil turning up in, right? The color. Color lichen. Well, you've got your flowing red and black jacket, you know, as you get out. Am I looking in the right spot? Apparently not. Lincoln Co. I can. Oh, yeah. Because, hold on, let's just open that image back up again. Because instead of having the silver and the blue, it'd be red and black in some arrangement. Maybe even with, instead of white walls, having red walls or something. Where in tarnation is that car? Oh, it's W Motors, that's right. Forgot. Wasn't the Lycan just a concept car? Like, it was in Fast and Furious and in this game and what have you. But has it ever really been seen on the road in any way? Huh. Because it's a Lebanese car? Hi, Kesa. Or... hold on a second. First things first. Should I say... hi, Kesa. Kesa, of course, being the texture worker, who's been doing the stuff that you just saw on screen there. He is the man who has taken Zhao from a mere grey figure to someone with orange and black, as well as, you know, kind of green and stuff. Ow! How are you doing, Kesa? How's your morning going? It's definitely not a car I would spend $3.4 million on. I mean, it's kind of neat, I guess, but, you know, it's fine. Ugh. Does it show any signs of slowing down? I do like the boomerang taillights. They are very nice. Like, there are parts of it Dubai. I thought this was... What's the Lebanese car I'm thinking of then? I feel like there's a Lebanese car that was one of these ones. Oh, W Motors are Lebanese, okay. They make it in Dubai. As you do. That's probably because I get a whole lot of UAE money. That's probably also where a lot of that clientele are, let's be honest. I can't imagine there's many of these cars in Lebanon. Or just anywhere really outside of the UAE. I just want to have a quick look in the garage at this car, because I think the doors open backwards. They're the old-fashioned kind of suicide doors, I think.
Welcome back, comrade.
Forza Vista. Yes, I thought so, because I thought that was the handle at the front. That is cool. That is probably my favorite feature of this car, actually. There's the boot. That's for your purse, basically. You can't see much, can you? Yes, there's an engine in there somewhere. Probably under all this carbon fiber. Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like it's the same with a lot of doors, though, right? You just got to be careful about opening them. The only problem with this one, I guess, is because the mirror is mounted on the door and not, say, on the A pillar, you don't have that kind of situational awareness even as you're opening the door. But I mean, that is a very cool way to open your doors. I think you could have... It would be more practical to open those up the other way, though. Just an idea. And that's the exhaust pipes there, I guess. Oh, those are radiators. Oh, no. And the other one was the Koenigsegg, which is a little bit more pedestrian, to be honest. I feel like the CCX, like all of these ones down here, are just kind of the same, give or take. Particularly these two, the CC8S and the CCX. They're kind of the same. It wasn't really until, you know, you get into here where they start going pretty crazy with each car. I like Koenigsegg in terms of like their technical, what they're doing. Like they're just doing these crazy things. Like they're doing the free valve stuff, the crazy stuff they do with the Regera in terms of the electric to petrol handover. Yeah, I suppose it is. That would be the right time, wouldn't it? Yeah. That must have been the first time I saw a Koenigsegg, I think, was at the Sydney Motor Show. Probably around that time, maybe 2005, 2006, somewhere in there. Sounds about right. Oh, let me think. Yeah, probably around then. So I think I saw one in person there. I can't remember if it was the CC8 or the CCX. I think it may have been the 8. I think I remember those rims. I find I like that they're kind of doing these really kind of mad scientist things and making them kind of practical. But yes, I agree. I don't think I would ever own a hypercar, and I personally don't particularly care for them too much. like I've said before, that the kind of ideal car for me is like a Golf R wagon. Like it's got a pittance of kilowatts, just 235 or so, less than 300. And you know, you've got the Koenigsegg's over here, like literal thousands. Too much. What do we want? We want to toggle the stats. Yeah, literally 1,000 kilowatts. That's probably been upgraded though. This one hasn't. 1,000 kilowatts. Too much. I don't think I could handle that many kilowatts, to be honest. Supercars are fast enough. I do have a soft spot for the 4GT. The 05 4GT. I don't know why, but it really speaks to me in some way. I like it because it's definitely an obvious and pretty accurate homage to the original 4GT, the GT40. I imagine it'd also just be a pig to own though. Like you have to be an oil shake for the fuel because it's just so thirsty, and it's also really wide. But it's just a cool car. It's a manual, right? Yeah, it's a manual. Yeah, 2006 was the years of like 5-speed automatics being the best of the best. Hell, even the SLR McLaren has a 5-speed automatic, and that's like meant to be the Grand Touring car. Or at least that's what it tried to be. I was wondering if that was going to come up, yeah. I'm definitely more of a Cadillac CN man in terms of unproduced American concept supercars from the early 2000s. But yeah, we definitely were robbed. To think at this point in time here, when this car came out, we could have had one from each of the big three. One from Chrysler, one from Ford, and one from General Motors. Now that would have been a time to be alive. Yes, and well, of course you would like the Nardo Caser. But the other thing is, because if the ME412 came out, and the CN, it would not be inconceivable that there would have been a second one of each, in the same way that there's another 4GT out currently. You didn't see that one coming, did you, Kesa? Makes perfect sense to me. It is also a very nice car, though.
Horizon Arcade will begin soon. Why not say hello to the other drivers whilst you wait?
No, I'm alright, thanks, Anna. The 16 is an incredibly American car. I am also a little bit kind of miffed that it wasn't made, because it feels like it could have been. I know it wouldn't have been, but it feels like the kind of car that the American president should be driven around in. Like, it's the kind of car that doesn't really seem to be it doesn't seem to be, what's the word? It's too good for, like, just a CEO. It's too ostentatious for that. It needs to be for, like, the president or the royal family or something. The Isidera Comandera 112i. I feel like you've mentioned this before. Because I remember that car. Do you have an image you can slap in the chat? We might check out the Isidera, and then I might go to bed and get ready for this Bucks/Bachelors party thing I've got tomorrow. I'm increasingly nervous about. Oh, we're from the horse's mouth here, from topgear.com. I saw this just a second ago. Hold on a second. There was a Twitter thread I was on asking about like favorite cancelled 90s supercars. Who was it? Aurora Mercedes. Where was your comment on that thread? Yeah, it was this here. There's like 4 images of that car. It does, actually, you're right. In that kind of long back way. Oh, yes, no, I remember this now. There's a NASCAR one. Funny looking thing. It's very cabin forward, that Isidera. Oh, excuse me. It looks like it. That's the badge in the front. Oh, it's got a weird door situation. Maybe that's for the spider. It's got a weird door system where the doors are separate to the glass. The Ital design Carla, or the Lambo Carla. Yes, this was another car that was mentioned in that Twitter thread. It really is. This is like an alternate history Lamborghini Gallardo. Like, this is, if they went for a more rounded and less sharp angled design language, this is what the Lamborghini Gallardo would have looked like, give or take. Which Need for Speed was it the cover car for? NFS2. Ah, okay. Wow. Really kind of pitching this as the future of automation. That sounds kind of right. There you go. Apparently, this was the first V10 that Lamborghini kind of pitched. So I guess I wasn't entirely incorrect. That this was kind of the Gallardo concept. Okay, so this happened when it was owned, Lamborghini that is, was owned by a Bermuda registered company called Megatech, which was owned by a Bermuda company and the youngest son of the president of Indonesia. But then when it was bought by Volkswagen in 98, the concept was shelved. RIP. Suppose that was a completely functional prototype. Rawr. Wolf is still here, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if it's like in the Lamborghini, offices.
Rawr.
So much rar. Now, Case is roaring. Oh, what was that car at the bottom of that? Lad, show me the car. Oh, it's just a Porsche. Just a Porsche 911, nothing too exciting. All right, gamers. I'm gonna go to bed. I've got this thing tomorrow. I need to kind of psych myself up for it and make sure things are charged and what have you. Thank you very much for joining me, gamers. I appreciate it immensely, even if it was only for 5 minutes or whatever. Just the fact that you turn up here rather than any of the many others that you could have turned up at. I appreciate that immensely. I'm going to try and find someone to throw us at. Give me a second. Stick around if you could. It makes me look good to just have more people to throw it. Sure, it's a little bit of a shallow reason to ask you to stick around, but it is a reason nonetheless. Unfortunately, there's no other VTubers or kind of furry adjacent people playing. I Okay, well, he just finished. A shame. Look, we'll just do old reliable. We'll throw you at Kusaki. Sure, it's a basic kind of maneuver, but it's straightforward. As I said, thank you for joining me. If you want to keep up with me outside of stream, check out my Twitter, my Blue Sky, or my threads where I'll keep you posted on the stream, what's happening there, or check out the TikTok, the YouTube, and the Instagram for the funnies, or the commanderj.card for all of the above, listed again on the webpage. Join the Discord if you want to communicate more easily back and forth outside of the stream. I will also be posting the GTA loading screen thing that I made there as requested. Yes, I will see you in a little bit over 20 hours time. Until then, I hope you have a good end of your week and start of your weekend. And let's go say hi to Kusaki. All right. Cheerio.
Somebody
Bro, did you
bring
get the moment?
Welcome in, Raiders. I'm Kusaki. I'm recording the for stream and DJ. Today I am
I
playing
left one out for the
Lethal
dogs,
Company.
just in case we were here.
How was your stream, Joe?
Wait, they eat the dogs?
Hello.
They eat the cats?
Nice big cat.
Shut up.
Where is it?
Shut up. I'll take the ship off right now.
Where's the kitty?
Hang on. It should have been over here somewhere.
Bro, it just like walked up.
Lethal,
Oh,
come!
damn it. You guys just gotta feed it.
Lethal,
The dog.
come!
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all protos tonight. When we're playing with like
Is that
zip,
everyone in the
Scooting on
ship?
its butt.
when we're playing with zip count,
So cute together.
zip count, mega,
Checking.
Mixie.
No one's left behind. I did
where
that.
and me, we do the VRM
Yeah, I think
ones.
that's the one.
Salmon.
Because you need to give
Where's-
basically you need to give
Yeah, I don't know
everyone your
what happens
VRM
when
for the
I-
VRM one.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it's good to do it with people that like, you know and trust. But tonight's collabs with like, I don't trust like Froggy or anyone, but like there's a few people that are Froggy's friends and stuff, and you kind of need it.
Okay.
I said Quen. I said Quen. I said Quen. Quen was the first name I said.
Huh?
Did I not say Quen out loud? I literally
Are
thought of
you?
Quen. My brain went Quen, zip, count. I did that thing where I mixed up
So
count and Quen
cute.
again, didn't I? Holy fuck.
I think he's ignoring me on purpose.
No, you didn't. Holy fuck. But yeah, I would.
Too bad.
Sorry, I got a raid. I was talking to chat.
Like, hello.
Yeah, no. I people I trust is like Ripper, Natsu, and Z and stuff as well.
I get to. But she comes in.
Oh, hi, Harleen
She'll be
here.
back in a second.
I reckon you've said that before. But yeah, like, obviously you guys know that I would let you use my VRM. Bye, Gamu.
It's awesome. I guess maybe you guys.
Well, okay. Why
White
are
homies
you
in chat.
shaking us right now?
Doing it for the
We
boy.
have to go to the company.
We're
Oh my
going
God.
to the company.
Ah, you know what? Fine.
Just make sure not to sell
Crazy.
absolutely everything. Because we've got a
Absolutely
lot.
everything. I sell everything.
Pickle in the fridge. I got a pickle in the
You
fridge.
come, sweetie.
I got my wife all over me. But there's a pickle in the
It's a
fridge.
good emo.
When my
Are
wife
you
is
like
at
flipping
work,
your ass
I touch the
enthusiastically?
pickle in the fridge. When my wife is at home, I do not touch the pickle in the fridge. Cause there's a pickle in the fridge. I'm gonna crunch it with my teeth. But if my wife says me to that, you're gonna be so mad at me.
Jam is in chat.
She put a pickle in the fridge. But then she gets so mad at me because then there's no pickle in the fridge. You know the